Hi guys, Kyung here, and today we're going to do a masterboard. I had been promising this for the past few videos, and now I cannot delay on it any longer, and we must finish our masterboard. So I pulled this paper from my stash, and it's super cute, right? It's a coffee paper, but I'm not really going to use it, I don't think. So I thought I would just, because there's two of them too. I suppose if I ever do a coffee journal, but then I still have one left. So here's our scraps from our romance journal that we've been using and keeping. There are a couple of other things I've put in there that I think go. So yeah, we're just going to cover the whole thing with scraps. And I'm not going to be too particular. Usually I like to pick 2 or 3 colors for my, like what colors I'm going to stick with for my masterboard, but since all our scraps are pretty much pink, blue, and white, I guess there are some tan here and there. That's kind of already done for us. So I'm just going to start ripping pieces and not be particular about it. So one of the things about masterboards that I find, and I know this is one of those things that people have a hard time with because they just don't know where to start, or I think people have a tendency to have a hard time letting go, like just putting it down, not planning, because you can sit and plan for, but the thing is if you just start and you just put stuff down randomly, I guarantee you, you'll like it in the end. And of course, you can think about it, like, you're gonna think about it a little bit, like, for example, I was like, okay, I started ripping up this pink. Okay, I'll put this one in this corner, and then I'll place some around in other areas of the page. I'm not just gonna pile them all in one corner. I also just rip my stuff randomly. And masterboards go pretty quick for me. I like to do different things once I get it all collaged. One of my favorite things to do is like use gesso and stencils and all kinds of things like that. And we'll probably do that here. This paper is so great. This pink embossed paper, I love it. It's beautiful. It's yummy, yummy paper. I think it was, yeah, okay, this came out of the Martha Stewart paper pad, right? This pink embossed paper that we've been using. Yeah, it came out of a Martha Stewart paper pad that Debbie, the scrapbooking lady who gave me a little slice, she gave that to me. So, and it had like a lot of pages, It wasn't a full pad by any means, but oh, it's just beautiful. All the pages in that pad is gorgeous. I'm sure it was expensive. Paper pads are expensive anyway. Let alone when you start getting like designer name brand. Right? Tim Holtz, for example, his paper pads can be a little pricey. I love them though. I've been trying to debate back and forth on whether I want to, because I know we're doing the Christmas in July thing, which, by the way, there is a link. There's a Facebook link. Teri made a Facebook group for that collaboration to make it easy to join the collaboration and see what's going on and ask questions and everything. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. And so I'll have the link to in my description to that. But yeah, so we're doing the July, Christmas in July thing. But I'm kind of been trying to figure out what's the next journal I'm going to make. I've been playing back and forth with, I know I want to make a train journal at some point, right, with trains. And I've been slowly kind of trying to collect train stuff. Edith Holden, I would love to do an Edith Holden journal. I'm a little nervous about that. I've never actually made an Edith Holden journal. And so that would be a little nerve-wracking, like doing one on camera. I'm always so worried I'm going to ruin her. All her pages are so gorgeous, and sometimes I have a tendency to, I don't know, maybe not. We're always our own worst critics, right? Always. So I'm just going to now stick some of these. I love this rose paper. We didn't really use any of it, I don't think, in the journal. But it was some scrap I had that I thought matched the theme perfectly. These ones are kind of came out more square. Here. Yep, glue, glue, glue. By the end of collaging, my fingers are always just so sticky. So, bless me, excuse me. Here's some more of this. Yeah, I think I will be doing some circles. I like to put circles or like different kind of shapes in my Masterboard, so we'll try that out. But, oh, I wanted to thank everyone, really, dearly, truly, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart. I really do want to thank everyone for the amazing response I got on the secret writing space journal page video that I did, because my sister was so, she was so flattered, and I kept coming to her throughout the day, you know, showing her comments and just the views on it and the watch time and everything. Like, I just kept showing her all the stats and stuff, and she was so flattered, just so flattered. So that is really cool, and she was really touched, and I just really thank everyone for that. That is super, super cool. She needed it, and yeah, just super awesome. Also, Chelsea Renee in the Junk Journal Tutorials group posted the most, because she made one, and then she posted it. She posted a picture of the one she made, and it is darling. It is so cute. She did an Alice in Wonderland one. And, you know, it's got the Cheshire Cat sitting up in the corner, and she's looking up at him, and she's on the card that you remove. So when you remove the card, oh, it's so cute. And so I don't know if any of you have gotten the chance to see that, but it was darling. Yeah, Chelsea Renee made the most beautiful page. Little Alice in Wonderland page. I have all these little weird shapes I put in here. I like this music. Right? So, yeah, that was a fun thing, and my sister really was so happy, and it made her day. So that was so awesome. And then that night, I think that was Friday. So, my husband wanted to go out with some friends, and so I was like, yeah, go have fun, you know, whatever. And so me and my sister were home alone that night. And he was like, you know, order in, like, order some, like, food, you know, like, because, you know, we've been trying to, like, watch money, so we haven't really been ordering in too much. It's like, so expensive. It's so expensive. But so I was like, okay. And so we looked online, and we were looking for, you know, what to order. And we saw a new place listed, and they were like some fancy sandwich place. And what on the menu was like a burnt brisket ends, like toasted sandwich with like cheese and like some other stuff. I think some pickles and like a sauce. Oh my goodness, it was so good. It was so good. Wow. Yeah, it was really good. Though he forgot one of the drinks, and you know, that happens a lot. Like, we'll order, and I hate it when they argue with me, right? Like, they'll come to drop off the food, right? And we'll be missing a drink or an entire order, right? We'll be missing like an entire burger or something. And we'll tell them, we'll be like, there's supposed to be another one, you know? And they'll stand there and they'll be like, no, 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 blah, blah, blah. Weird, like, excuses of like, well, I went in and blah, and all this. And it's like, no, I'm telling you, there was supposed to be another burger. I ordered 3, right? I paid for 3. There's 2. And they're like, no, no. And I'm like, okay, whatever, it's fine. And then they leave, and then, you know, we just have to we pull up and get the refund back, you know, for that burger. Since we didn't get it, you know, we're not going to pay for it. But, yeah, that's kind of a common thing. But at least on that particular night, he had only forgotten the drink. like one of the drinks. So that's good. Everything else was there. And it's funny because when I told him, I was like, we were supposed to get 2 drinks. There's supposed to be 2. He was like, no. He was like, no, no. What happened is I went and I spilled the drink, right? And then I had to go in and get a new drink. Which you could tell he had spilled that drink. Like he did. There was like some soda kind of spilled on the outside of the bag. But that had nothing to do with the second drink. And I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. I was like, be safe. Just, it's all good. Goodness, it was just a drink. But, and yeah, I mean, it's easy to get, you know, reimbursed for the items you didn't, you know, that didn't arrive for you or whatever. But still, it's a little, it's like, you know, can I ever just get what I ordered? Especially for the price. You know, you would think with how it's so expensive, you know, to order, you know, out these days, and on top of getting it delivered or anything like that, it's just expensive. And I could cook 3 dinners with that money, you know. What can you do? But it was really good, and we really enjoyed it. So it was kind of a special thing. Yeah, I think she ordered the exact same thing. Yeah, she ordered the exact same thing. And yeah, we really ate it. It was so good. And then in the evening, and I think that was, yes, Friday in the evening, me and my sister were sitting outside, you know, with the dogs and stuff. And it's so beautiful. It like cooled off. It's not too hot. And the birds, we noticed all the birds in the neighborhood start going nuts. They start going nuts, and they all start, you know, cawing, and you can see them flying around. And I was like, something's going on. And I wondered, I told my sister, I was like, I wonder if a storm's coming or something. Because I highly doubt it's like some big predator or something. You know, we don't live in, I mean, it could happen, but we don't live like too far out where there would be, you know, we're pretty residential here. So, but we've been having these giant birds of prey. I've been seeing a lot of them. So, like, even we saw, like, a bald eagle the other day. Me and my husband, we were driving. I was like, oh, look, there's a hawk. Because, you know, we'd seen a lot of hawks. And he looked, and I looked, and as it was flying around, and he was like, that's a bald eagle. And I was like, oh, it is. So we do have a bald eagle, kind of lives around here. But, in the fields, like, across the way. But we have these hawks, too, that hang out just really close in the neighborhood. They're always flying ahead. I'm really happy that I have bigger dogs and not little dogs, because I know that that's, you know, a concern for people, you know, who have cats and little dogs and things like, you know. Eagles, you know, they're predator, you know, and they will snatch, they will snatch things, you know, cats and things like that. And, but, so, yeah, this beautiful hawk, and he's cawing, right, you know, oh, it's gorgeous, and he's really close, and he's circling up above, you know, kind of circling, and all the birds, and it's funny, you know, whenever you see a hawk around, if you ever see a hawk flying around, or you ever see an eagle or a bird of prey flying around, watch the birds around them. Just watch the birds around. It's so interesting. All the birds around them either, are freaked out and they like panickingly fly around, you know, or they get like upset and they'll bully the hawk, or they'll like, get out of here, you know, and they'll fly at them, and it's very interesting. But so yeah, all the birds are going nuts, and this hawk is flying up above, and then all of a sudden, and I've never had this happen before, all of a sudden he sees he's all the way up there, he see everything. But he flies down and like just right above our heads, so close. I mean, not close enough that if I reached up I could touch him, but really close. Like, I would have to say a little higher than the roof of our house, like not high up at all. And he flew right above us and, like, you know, screeched the way they do, you know. And both me and my sister was like, wow. We looked at each other and we were like, that's so cool. And then, we wondered if maybe, yeah, they would like, I was like, I wonder if he's warning us that like the storm's coming. Like if he's like, hey, people get inside. There's, because birds can see from way far. And yeah, 5 minutes later, the wind just started picking up crazy and it just poured. It just started coming down. And I thought, wow, that's good. And then it did. It rained for like 3 days. It's been raining since Friday, basically. So it's nice and cool today. And we've needed it so badly with the fires and everything. So, yeah. I hope that's a thing that continues. The rain. My yard is happy and not dying anymore. It was really starting to look, and I was trying to water it. Okay. And we were in a little bit of a drought, and I mean, they they send you things like, you can't water your yard too much. Right? You can't just turn your water right, like water sprinkler, your yard sprinkler on, and then leave it there for hours, as people tend to do that. They're like, yeah, you can't do that. You can water this many hours with a sprinkler a week. Like, really, it's like that. They send you a flyer and they say, this is how many hours a week you can water by sprinkler. And on these days, there's even like a calendar, right? And then they're like, and these are the days that, but you're allowed to water by hand, like standing in the yard with the hose as much as you want, which is kind of weird to me. But I guess after standing out there for like an hour, you're like, I gotta go in. I can't stand here. Your arm starts to get sore and, but I don't, my grass is not the most important thing in the world. I don't care if it's dead, I care if it's dead because the city cares and they'll come mess with me. It's dead and it's brown and blah, blah, Yeah, Aurora's not great here in Colorado. I had really wanted to move to a different city when we moved, but it is what it is, right? I'm still very happy here. I love this house. And I love this little neighborhood and all the people that live in it. And it's just, ooh, I love it. I love it. It could be quieter. But there's a warehouse a few blocks up, and I don't know what they're thinking, but it will be 3 o'clock in the morning and you'll hear their trucks backing up. Beep, beep. Oh man, it just does not stop. And I get to the point where I'm like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing? Okay, let's use some of this. I'm going to save some of like the flowers to put maybe like on top. We're making progress. We're making progress. So far, it looks okay. When it comes to masterboards, I can mess up my masterboard because I don't think too much when I put my stuff down. I don't. I really try not to. It's a very brainless, brain dead kind of thing for me. I like it that way, and that, oh no, my fingers are sticky. I can't. Okay. Whew, we got the cap open. All right. The thinking for me part comes in after it's collaged. And then I think about, like, what am I going to do to it? What am I going to add to it? What am I going to... Oh, no. I got to replace... Place my page. It's all sticking to my page. That's not good. I don't want book page on my pretty paper. Where should we stick this one? Like this? That's fine. Does it fit there? If it fits there, just put it there. Yeah? That's what I say. If it fits, then it goes. It's like almost like, I kind of almost look at it like a little jigsaw puzzle too. So instead of looking at design or shape or like, oh, does this paper go with this paper to go with this paper, go with that shape, blah, blah. I mean, that can be overwhelming, I kind of play Tetris with it. Like, I'll just tear a piece, right? I'll tear a piece. I like this little lace piece. That's cool. And then I'll look, like, where could this go? Like, it wouldn't really go there because we'd cover this up. But it could go here, right? It can go and fit right along there. Just like Tetris. And if you do it that way, and you do it like, and you don't start at a corner, right? So I've got just going on. I just randomly put it down. That way things are kind of layered on top of each other nicely and not... they look more random, I guess you could say, than laddered or laddered. I don't I don't know. They're layered more nicely. So yeah, that was so cool. We've also have that butterfly that's been around still, that giant butterfly. He's giant. We've had some giant things this year, right? I don't know if anyone's but seen on my Facebook, but I posted a picture of this biggest dragonfly I've ever seen in my life. I kid you not. I've never seen a dragonfly this big. It was, I don't know, kind of disgustingly ugly, if I want to be honest. I mean, it's beautiful, but like, not in real life for me. Like, I'm kind of like, if it's that big and I can see all the, I don't know, I can't. It really freaked me out. And, so I posted on my Facebook, you know, I was like, I don't know if I should. It's a little creepy looking. Like, I told my sister, I was like, it's like something from your nightmares. I was like, yeah, it really is. It's not, he was really cool though. He was friendly and cool and just hung out, but eventually left, you know, but, woo. Yeah, it was, freaked me out. Giant dragonfly. But the butterfly's been around, this giant butterfly. And he's a smart butterfly. He comes in and he'll fly all over the ground. And I'm really, again, worried that my dog, because my dog is a hunter of bugs. My dog loves to hunt bugs. He goes outside and he hunts bugs. My little, my Klekai is his breed. And he loves to hunt bugs. He has since he was puppy, months old. He would be like 4 months old, I think, or 5 months old. And one of the first times he ever got to go outside, like we brought him outside, you know, over at my friend's house. He just started hunting bugs in the grass and stuff. It was so cute. I'm worried he's going to get that butterfly. But I'll say, you know, that butterfly's been pretty smart. Because I've been watching him, and he comes in the yard all the time. Like, he hangs out, like he lives by here, because he just... I've never seen a butterfly, like, interact and be intelligent, I guess, like that. You know, right? Like, I guess I've never really observed one, though, either. I kind of just consider them to be like all the other bugs, just kind of, but he's big yellow and black one. So very pretty. I've been trying to get a picture of him, and yesterday I almost got a picture of him because he was sitting on my aspen tree, you know, my little aspen tree that I planted not very long ago. He was sitting on there, and he stood out so much, you know, on this aspen tree. And I went to go grab my phone to get a picture, and yeah, by the time I got my camera out, he had flown off. He was flying away. So one of these days I'm hoping to get a picture of him because he is beautiful. Let's go ahead and do some of these now. So the 4th of July is coming, and it's a little nuts this year because last year, you know, due to COVID and everything was canceled. Nothing. We had nothing. It was actually, I think, the first year in my entire life of living that there was nothing planned by the city. Everyone else didn't care. The night sky lit up last year by the neighborhood. Everyone, I mean, we didn't, but a lot, like everyone went out and bought fireworks and came back and then shot them off on the 4th of July. So there was just non-stop fireworks going off last year. But nothing planned by the city. Nothing. Of course, you know. And so this year, though, this year, I was really surprised because of how hot it's been. The fire danger. There are a lot of things, you know. And usually Colorado is we're pretty like... But there's fire. We're not doing, you know, we'll cancel them, you know. Every single city here in every single city here in Colorado is doing a fireworks display. I think even the town up over there, like near, that's on fire, the Kremlin or whatever, they're even calling it. I think they're calling their display like fire up the cliffs or something like that. And they're going to do, yeah, I was like, wow, you guys. Everyone's like, we're going to celebrate this year. So it's going to be nuts. I'm not sure. I think we'll probably go to the one in Aurora here. That's probably the one we'll go to. But I mean, we could take our pick. We might go up, drive a half hour or an hour up to, one of the other cities. But I haven't gone to see fireworks display in years. And I love giant fireworks displays. I love them. But I haven't been in years. So I'm really excited to go this year. I hope we go. But I do feel bad for the dogs. The dogs have been having a time of it. Everyone, because again, neighbors, the fireworks have been going off. So, so especially at night, once it gets dark, they start going, and they're big. Because I think fireworks are kind of legal this year here in Colorado, and you can just drive to Wyoming. So here's the thing here, is that in Colorado, it's always been the thing of you drive to Cheyenne, or you drive, to Wyoming, right? And then you buy fireworks. And literally the moment, here's Colorado, and here's the line, right? And you're driving through Colorado, and this is the line, the state line, and this is Wyoming. Right after the state line is a fireworks place. That is just what it is. Because people I don't know. I think a lot of people in Colorado, the only reason why they would ever go to Wyoming is to buy fireworks. That's kind of, and so it's a thing I remember being a child and driving to Wyoming to get fireworks. Because for a long time, it was illegal to sell them in Colorado, but you could shoot them off. If you had them, you could shoot them off. You just couldn't buy them or sell them in the state, right? And then after a while, they changed that to be, you can't even shoot them off in the state. You can't. So people would drive to Wyoming and then do fireworks in Wyoming and then drive home, right? They would just do the fireworks in Wyoming, and then, they'd buy them, and then they would do them, and then they would come home. We've never been big on doing our own fireworks. We'll do little ones, sparklers and fountains and things like that, but we're not, it's kind of scary. I'm no professional. I'm not the fire department. And that's who usually, does the fireworks displays is the fire department, or, the city, teamed up with the fire department. Which is smart. That's who you would want to, I think, have fireworks displays is, doing your fireworks displays is the fire department, as they know what they're doing. They're completely prepared. But we used to always go to Brighton for our fireworks as a kid. And when I was a kid, we'd drive all the way to Brighton. We'd have a picnic, and then we'd watch fireworks. And they're doing it again this year, but I think we'll stay in Aurora. I've never really done the Aurora fireworks. I've lived in Aurora my whole life. And I've never done the fireworks display here, ever. So I think we're going to do that. But the dogs most of my dogs are good. So I have 2 dogs. Out of all my dogs, 2 of them don't like the fireworks. Well, that's not true, 3. But the third one, she just goes and lays down in the closet, and then she's fine. She's fine as long as she's holed up and in the closet. It doesn't really bother her too bad. She feels safe in there and all that. But Phoebe, she freaks out. She'll try to hide in places you don't want her to hide, right? So she'll try to crawl in under the water heater or get herself it's so what I do, and what I have done for years now, is I'll build her little tents and little forts throughout the little so that she has places, because she'll move. She's not one of these dogs that will go hole up and then they'll just sit there. No, she'll go hole up, and then she'll hear a firework, and she'll feel like she's not safe, and so she'll get up and she'll move to a different hole, and then she'll sit there for a while, and the firework will go off, and she'll get up and she'll move to a different hole. Poor thing. But if I make her a bunch of little holes, right? If I take some sheets and some blankets and I go through the house and I place little areas she can hole up in. Oh, it makes such a difference for her. Such a huge difference. So if anyone has dogs who don't like fireworks, that's a suggestion, is to just throughout the house make like little forts, you know. They're temporary as soon as 4th of July, you know. As soon as there's not as many fireworks. And the thing is, it's not even July yet, right? It's not even July yet, and it's bad this year. I have mixed feelings about it. I like fireworks. I love fireworks. But at the same time, you know, I feel bad for the dogs. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of... It's not fun for them. It's not fun for other people who, you know, have, like, PTSD and, like, other things. Like, there's things about it. But I also don't agree with the idea that we should do away with everything that might potentially, you know, offend someone. Or, like, you can't live in a bubble. You know what I mean? And so I kind of agree with that, too. So I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm not I mean, it's on one hand, I'm like, oh, that's so cool that, like, every single city in the state is doing a show. At the same time, I feel bad for those who can't get away from it. You know, I mean, what about people who really don't like it? And then, you know, they'll be like, oh, well, I'll go to this little podunk town, you know, that they never do fireworks, you know, or whatever. Like every town in every city. Major city. You could go out, I guess, into the plains, but yeah. I don't know why I jumped down that whole rabbit hole of fireworks. Oh, Fitz, my Klekai, right? So this is what he does. He barks at him. So if he hears fireworks, he'll go outside. He, like, wants to get him. And so he'll go outside and he's not scared. But he'll stand in the yard and he'll watch for, like, fireworks, like, you know. And, oh, he just goes nuts. He barks and barks and barks at him. He wants to get him so bad, I think. And wouldn't want to have him around with anyone shooting them off, like, near him. I don't know. He might actually go after it, you know, because he really does want... He just barks at these firework go off, and there he goes. Starts barking. It's kind of cute, actually. Instead of being all scared, you don't want your dog. So poor puppies. Let's see, what else do I have? I have this. Let's put some of this on there. So, yep, that's been what's going on. Husband went out with some friends. And me and my sister, we just hung out. We've been watching, like, true crime stuff. So, like, cold case files and things like that. And I'll tell you, you know, I've always kind of liked that stuff. But I recently found a YouTube channel. And it's not craft related, but I love them. And I've watched every single one of their videos, and so interesting and fascinating. But they're called the Behavior Panel. And they're like experts in the field of body language and all that kind of stuff. You know, lie detection kind of stuff, like if someone's just being deceitful and like things like that. And, you know, I don't agree with everything they say. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm not an expert. But I tell you, I've learned a lot from watching their videos, and I love them. Like, I look forward to, like, their new one every week. I think Tuesday or Thursday, they come out with a new one, and they recently did the Harry and Meghan interview with Oprah, where they go into, like, his body language and her body language and Oprah's body language and, like, all that stuff, and it's interesting, you know. And, so yeah, I've been doing that. They're just so interesting. And then, you know, you watch them for a while, you start picking up on things, you start learning things, and so then you'll start watching, like, something else, right? You'll be, like, watching a crime drama or something, and it's, like, and, you know, the people will get on and they'll start talking, you know, during the interview, like, oh, I didn't do it, or, you know, they show footage or whatever, and you're just like, I don't know, that guy is, lying, or you'll be like, oh, look at how, like, truthful he is. I don't know. It's cool. And even then you have to, like, with a grain of salt, be like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Because I don't. But they do a course even. They have, like, a course where you can get certified and stuff. And they're having a sale right now because of, you know, everything that's been going on. And I was like, I might do that. That might be a lot of fun. Just for fun, you know. I feel like, you know, it's helped me in terms of being able to, like, relate to people or feel confident in that people believe what I'm saying or something. Like, do you, I feel like my problem is a lot when I talk to people, you know, in public or whatever. I have this, I don't know, this feeling like, oh, they don't believe me. They think I'm either up to something, conning them, you know, lying. So I don't know. Like, I don't have, like, I have confidence in what I say, but I feel like other people don't, I guess. I don't know. And that's all self things, you know, we all have our things. But I've noticed it really, really helped me with that. Like, you know, because it helped me be able to look and say, oh, well, if they disagreed with what I was saying or if they thought I was dumb or something, you know, there would be all this other body language going on that I'm not actually seeing. So, you know, they're actually, what I'm seeing is that they're engaged and they're listening to me or they're whatever, you know, just like, it's been very super fascinating. So, yeah. They look a little clickbaity. Like, if you go and look at them, like, they can look a little, but, you know, well, with YouTube analytics and everything these days, it is what it is. So, what should we do? Should we put butterflies on it? Or flowers? Or what? What should we put on there? We kind of have flowers already, right? So let's put butterflies on it, although I did like that Maremi. That was a Maremi flower. Okay, we have some butterflies here. Most of my butterflies are in my pouch thing. This one, I like the pink one. Is it too much though? Oh no, these are all a little big. I don't know. Let's throw those back in there. Well, I'll keep this one out. Let's grab my fussy cut book that Jean sent me. I love, which is still the best one of all the ones that I made. I still like this one the best. Okay, we have this butterfly. Like, I'd like to maybe do, these are so dark. These are ones I printed and stuff, and look at how black they are. Like, actually, these even came out of my kit. These came out of my romance kit. I may go in and switch but because that's really black. I'm not sure about that. Sorry. I like that one. It's a black too, but maybe we'll go with yellow ones since, you know, we've had that yellow butterfly flying around in our yard. That's like, I like that one. I like this one. The blue. Another yellow. That's good. Yeah, and this big yellow. We'll put this one away. I think that's good. We'll put the blue one away too, and we'll just do yellow. Yellow and that kind of bit orange one. Stick our butterflies back in our little fussy book. Okay, and we'll just glue these on here, and I think I will ink them because they really do need it. All right, I have to get a new mic. My clip-on mic broke. I don't know what happened to it. Oops, sorry. It just went kaput on me. So I'm having to use just the mic on my phone. I'm having to use just the mic on my phone, which is not great. And that's okay. It is what it is. I'm just gonna put some butterflies on here. I don't. Okay, I changed my mind. We're We're going to put these to the side for now until we finish what the other things I'm going to do with this board before I put the butterflies on. I'm going to need to gesso it and put a little bit of paint on there. You don't have to. These are just things I like to do to my masterboard. Really, technically and theoretically, it's done, right? It's fully collaged. It's a masterboard. You could cut this up and use it for tags at this point. I'm going to play with it a little bit. I'm just going to play with it just a little bit. Ooh, wow. Look at our time. Oh my goodness. Time flew. I'm going to dot some white gesso with my finger. And then I'm going to rub some in. Just kind of, this is going to, for me that I love, it kind of blends things. It creates a softness. It kind of blends things. It just makes a big difference for me. I really love. And then also when I put some paint on, it will give me the opportunity to have a surface to do that where it's not so busy, right? We have some areas that aren't as busy as other areas. I'm just gonna do. The only terrible thing about doing this with your finger is, you know, your finger gets all gunky. And it's paint. It's acrylic paint, so it is, you know, it's paint. Gesso is basically acrylic paint for the most part. It's different. It's, you know, it's got some other, it's a different texture. It's not, but it is. It's acrylic based. It's will dry like paint. It acts like paint. A white acrylic paint would work as a substitute for white gesso, for example. You could take a little bit of white paint, white acrylic paint, go through. Is that enough softening down, or should we do like a little bit in some other places? Yeah. You know, you gotta be careful. This is where I can mess up my masterboards, okay? This is, I get to play in. But here's the thing, is that it's a masterboard, and it can be covered up. So this is just background. Do you know? I mean, if all else fails, you could just put a giant image on it. Right? Cut a little tag, put a big image on it, and cover most of it, and you still have this background, you know. But I love this. I love the way it's coming out. I think it's soft. I think it's pretty. I think I'm going to add a little bit of pink. And I was going to use my watercolor, but I have my gouache as well, which might look better because it's a little more chalky and less opaque. It's more opaque, it dries chalky, like matte. It's like less see-through. But nah, I have my watercolors out, so I'll just use them. There we go. Okay, so we've softened it up with some gesso, and now I'm going to dry it. All right, so at this point, yes, a lot of people stamp, a lot of people stencil, and I do that. I do that a lot. But today I'm going to paint, and it's not going to be fancy. I'm just going to put color on the paper. I'm not going to, like, paint anything specific. Let's try and get open. Okay, here's my cheap Arteza watercolor set. This is the cheap set, right, you would get for, like, your kids or something. They don't come in the tubes. They're in these little round things. They work fine. They do. They work fine. I'm going to take my water. I'm going to spray it. This, get your paints wet, and it, like, helps activate your paint, right? So if you spray it beforehand, it gets your paint wet, and then look, you actually have some paint already, kind of ready, so that you don't have to completely rely on your wet paintbrush to pull paint. And then I have a little bottle, a little thing of water. So that's what this is. I'm going to put that out of the way. So what color? We have this color. We could test on maybe a scrap and see, right? Because we don't want to, one has to be careful. Sometimes color is more bright than one thinks, you know. Okay, so yes, definitely we'll need to, I'm happy we put the gesso down because of the way it just soaked up that paint. We'll have to do wet on wet as well. Yeah, because it'll soak it up. That's fine. I like this color. I like that color. I think we'll stay away from the hot pink. I'm going to spray my page just to get it a little wet. So we're not putting wet paint on dry paper. The dry paper will soak up that paint instantly, and then you won't be able to blend it or spread it or anything. It won't do anything. It won't do what you want. So we're going to take some of this paint, this pink here. Just really get some. How like, I could put a little, maybe a little white in there. Lighten it up a little bit. Let me really rinse my brush before I start going into that white. Okay. Oh, that's maybe too much white. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're just going to put some paint down here and there. Okay, I wish I grabbed my... Of all the things I didn't grab my rag. See, if it's wet beforehand, you can spread the water easier, or the paint. Otherwise, it'll just soak it. Just soak it right up. Oh, Miss P on her live when she did hers, she was like going around the edges of the, oh, it was so cool, making like shadows. That was great. I thought that was, oh, it looked so cool too. I'm not doing that with this one, since I already put kind of just paint down, but it was very cool. It was really cool. It looked really cool. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that with this one since I had my paint anyway, but okay, I'm thinking we'll add a little bit of blue. We're needing some blue since the journal is a blue and pink journal. Hopefully it's not too much because it's, yeah, just a little bit, right? And like, yeah, you could really water it. The more water you put, the less pigment in your paint. So once it dries, it'll have less paint, right? Like the more you water it. Grab this little piece of batting that I had from when I was binding my Paris journal. By the way, my Paris journal is finished. I'm so happy. It came out beautiful. It's not, you know, the most fanciest of journals I've made. It was kind of using leftovers from the first Paris journal I had made. So it's kind of just, you know, basic journal, but it's quite a big journal. It's got over 100 pages and a lot of writing space. So I was happy with it. I love it. It's funny how we fall in love slowly with the journals that we create. Like even journals that I don't like, that I'll be dreading, and like I get to the point where I'm like, I just want to be done with this journal. Like it's taking forever, you know, all those things. Even those journals, you know, like by the time I'm done with them, I just love them. Like, too much water, not enough paint. So the only trick to watercolor, I will say, is your ratio of paint to water. That's it. Once you get down ratio of paint to water and how much paint you want versus how much water you want, then you'll get whatever effect you want. I think that that's just the key. It really helps if you have an actual rag with you to control your water. But I didn't bring one. That's okay. We're just putting little bits here and there We could, I think, maybe use a little bit more blue down in here, and then I think we'll call it, and it'll be good. And then we'll have a masterboard we can pull and use for pockets, tags, journal cards, whatever we need. Whatever we need. So there we go. Our masterboard, it's done. Oh, let's put on these butterflies. Okay. Butterfly, butterfly, where shall you go? Let's dry it. All right. So, where do you want to go, guy? How about here? You can go there. This one wants to sit like that. Just because he told me. He said, oh, let's go there. That's where he will go. This glue is always doing somersaults on me. Okay, we got this one. He'll go up here like this. Ah, yes. And then we have this guy. We'll put him over here. It's wet. How is that still wet? Okay. Okay. Like that. This guy we'll put perhaps over here like this. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we have one more. He needs to go kind of, I think, over here. Over here or over here? I don't know. I'm going to put him over here. Yeah. Where do I want him? I don't know. Right there is fine. That's what it is. And then I'll wait for it to dry completely, and then I'll probably go in. And I'll actually, what I'll do is I'll cover the whole thing in clear gesso. That will keep it from, because you know, Masterboards can have a tendency to, around the edges, you know, all come up. And I don't want to go through and glue every single edge down. I will, usually what I do is I just take my clear gesso. I will show you, might as well. Okay, so we take our clear gesso. I have really cheap clear gesso. This was, I don't know, maybe even a Walmart buy. It was very cheap. Not a good clear gesso. I would recommend, this doesn't dry as matte as I would like. It has a little bit of sheen to it, which is never what you want, right? But so I use this, and I'll go in, and I just, I will cover the whole thing. And while I do it, I kind of press down my paper, and, as if I were decoupaging. So I'll do that with the whole thing. That will also give it tooth. So if I ever want to ink on my, you know, if I cut a card and I want to ink on it, or I want to paint on it, or I want anything, I'll be able to do that. I won't have to worry about the different textures of paper, what, you know, watercolor is on there. Be careful, though, if you use watercolor when putting clear gesso, because it will pick up your watercolor. Gesso is wet. Watercolor is water soluble. It will pick, same with distress ink. If you put distress ink down and you go over it with gesso, it doesn't matter. It will pick it up because it's water soluble and gesso's wet. So you can get, I think, pretty good gessos that will do a pretty good job of not picking it up, right? Like, see, it tries not to, because it's slick. But yeah, that's kind of that's just a thing you have to deal with gesso. You could use spray, but I hate spray. It stinks, and then it never goes away. I feel like that smell never goes away. I had tried it one time. I'd bought some like Krylon, you know, spray, photo spray, right? They use for like photos and things like that. Oh, terrible stuff. just smells so bad. So yeah, I will finish just covering this whole thing with gesso like this. And then it'll be done. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I like it. So I had fun. See you next time. Bye.